Radianite is not what you think it is, and today we're diving deep into the mysteries of this substance in Valorant. It's more than just some in-game currency used to level up your cosmetics. The lore behind this stuff is a roller coaster. So in this video, we'll go over its origins, what it can be used for, the Radianite paradox, possibly the first Radivore, and how Lotus shows us some clues into the green versus Radianite debate. So picture this, Radianite pops up around the same time as the first light event, causing chaos worldwide. This incident was described as a supercharged Radianite phenomenon that caused a huge flash across the globe. The results were a few hours of blackouts, tears in space, and genetic manipulation of living organisms we know as Radiants and Radivores. It was Kingdom who were the first to claim that they discovered this substance around the same time. But as we know now, thanks to Yoru's investigations, that may not be the case.
And the armor. If Kingdom discovered Radianite 10 years ago, why is my mask filled with it? There's more to find here. And then I fell into a space that wasn't just A to B. It felt more like now to then.
I can't be the only one thinking time travel, right?
What is a Red Seal ship from the Tokugawa era doing way up here? Zabardast.
Nonetheless, that Japanese ship was made in the 17th century, so we can at least go that far back to when humans first used Radianite. However, this leads us to its other properties, such as being able to form rifts through space, and possibly time. There are many theories for how Radianite came to Earth, from a meteor crashing onto the planet, to Radianite actually being created by someone in the future and sent to present day due to its space and time properties. This theory is called the Radianite paradox. And the other theory is that Kingdom was experimenting on it and then something went awry, therefore causing the first light event. Again, these are just theories, so we have to wait until the truth comes out. Maybe we'll get more answers in that rumored Valorant film coming out, but at this point, we just have to wait. Nonetheless, not much is known exactly what Radianite is. It has no ties to the elements on the periodic table as we know of today. This has led some to believe that it's related to dark matter, a hypothetical substance having gravitational influence that affects how galaxies are formed and evolved. Despite not knowing exactly what it is, that didn't stop Kingdom from using it as an energy source to grow their company into an empire that supplies 3/4 of the world's energy needs. It's also used in other applications like in weapons, Viper's toxins, KJ's gadgets, and Chamber's nano/teleportation technology. Kingdom initially claimed that Radianite was a clean and safe source of energy. And surprise surprise, prolonged exposure turns living things into Radiants or Radivores with supernatural powers and abilities. The Venice incident also let people on Alpha Earth know that Radianite might not be as completely safe as Kingdom claimed it to be. Oh, and did I mention that Radianite can make stuff defy gravity? It's another interesting property it has as an after effect from explosions. Nearby objects tend to be suspended in mid-air. I first noticed this when looking at this structure on Sunset that has pieces just floating. Same with the samurai armor in Icebox that has flowing lights reaching towards the sky and not bounded by gravity the same way everything else on Earth is. The more I look at this stuff, the more creepy it is. It's like it's reaching towards something. It really makes those dark matter theories seem closer to the truth than whatever the claims that Kingdom told the public. Maybe the first light changed some of the materials on Earth, which might explain why Breeze is so rich with Radianite, despite being an island older than the first light event. This also makes me wonder if Radianite was on Earth all along, why has no one thought to use it as energy or its other applications? Then there's its space and time properties. We know that Yoru has the abilities to access different dimensions, but it is hinted that there could be some time travel or at least time viewing applications of his powers. Then there's Chamber's ability to teleport because of his Radianite empowered technology, as well as ISO being able to create a pocket dimension with his powers too. There's a lot of connections with Radianite and giving people access to mess with space and time in ways that normal everyday humans cannot. This is also evident with the portal system used in Valorant. On Bind, people can teleport from A to B site easily. And you guessed it, that is with the help of Radianite. However, there are portals that can let agents travel to other dimensions. As we saw in the main menu of episode 4, Neon was able to power a teleport to Omega Earth. This is how her, Killjoy, and Reyna were able to find themselves on Omega Earth's Pearl, which is just another example that Radianite has made traveling through space possible. And since time and space are closely linked together, I wouldn't be surprised that more evidence of time travel starts to happen. Shoot, we already know KO is from the future. Now the question is, how does ISO tie into all of this? Well, if you've been paying attention, then you would notice that each Radiant's powers have similar properties to Radianite itself, and giving us hints to its other applications. Like Yoru being able to hop into a pocket dimension and even having some time applications to his powers, which means Radianite most likely does as well. Even Neon's abilities can be tied to Radianite's EMP potential, as we saw during the first light event, and we can witness sparks forming in its crystallized state. But what about Reyna and Sky? Well, ISO's abilities, as Sage puts it, is able to take intangible energy into solid form, basically giving energy a different mass. This helps explain how Reyna is able to create life energy.
Life energy isn't exactly my area of expertise.
The same type of energy that we may see in Sky's creatures.
Sky the Life Weaver. The power to create, to destroy. Which path will you embrace, I wonder?
Even Sage's powers may be related to the properties of Radianite, either through making intangible energy into solid form like ISO, or teleporting energy from one place to another, which is hinted by Omen's voice line.
Sage, the life you give. Do you ever wonder where it's taken from? A radiant healer is with them. I can feel her pull against the natural balance.
This is just my headcanon for justifying Radianite's properties and its connections to Agent's powers. And to me, it seems like a pretty good one. And let's not forget about Radivores. Animals change through Radianite exposure. The first one that we see is the bear Deadlock face in her cinematic trailer, really giving Revenant a run for its money in that one. But I do want to mention that even though player cards and stickers aren't always canon to the story of Valorant, I do find it interesting how there's an octopus holding a chunk of crystallized Radianite. This player card is titled What Ancient Mystery, which is probably alluding to the tales of the Kraken. Regardless, we also see Gecko's buddies resemble animals found in the wild, like sharks and the axolotl. They too were subjects of Kingdom's experiments. We notice some of them have a hunger for Radianite too. In the Sunset trailer, we know that the Valorant Protocol was sent to stop Kingdom's Radivore experiments in Los Angeles. Deadlock, who at the time has a great disdain towards Radivore, says this.
This is what they've been after.
This leads me to believe that the portal has a link to another Radivore, and a rather big one too. Plus, Gecko says this.
Yo, Wings. It kind of looks like you.
Which kind of backs up my claims as well. Maybe the scientists were sending a large crates of Radianite to keep it happy and not have it tear down the facility like the one in Deadlock's trailer. Now, if we go to bind, we'll see that raw Radianite is mined, processed, and packaged into many different boxes. At least that's how it is on Alpha Earth. All of which contains a green tint to it, except for this crystallized piece of Radianite on A site, as well as it changing into something more viscous when heated. However, the final process on Omega Earth is different. Their end product is orange. Does that mean that since their Radianite is orange, it has different properties and effects? Well, if we go to Lotus, which is also on Omega Earth, there are signs of Radianite being used in different and more natural ways. The plants on Lotus have also had their genome affected by Radianite, but those who once lived there were able to harness these changes to create their own power source using these mutated plants. That is how they created light as well as power the rotating doors. Radianite here is also green, similar to the ones found on Alpha Earth. This lets us know that Radianite is green on both planets, so we can assume that the refining process may be responsible for the color change. Maybe this refining change could explain why their Earth is in such a dire state. It could put more burden on Earth than the way Alpha Earth does it, which seems to be closer to how it was done on Lotus. Or possibly their Earth is just a few years ahead of Alpha Earth, which might explain why Prime Earth has yet to experience the same climate-ending disasters that are going on in Omega Earth. Nah, that's just crazy talk. I'm going to put down my tinfoil hat for the rest of this video before all circulation to my brain stops. But seriously, Radianite is the real MVP of Valorant's wild lore story. Without it, none of this would be possible. So hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more lore deep dives. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you later.